Hi, my name is John Lloyd, and I'm the founder of Iron Men's Ministries. Thank you for checking us out. There's a lot of options on this DVD, and we hope that you look at all of them. Our goal is to find out if we can help you in ministry. We want to get all of your questions answered. We want to get you more information as needed. We'll get on the phone with you. We'll set up coffee meetings with you. Again, we want to help and support and encourage you in ministry. Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another." And Iron Men's Ministries is built on that premise. In fact, you can think of it as a template or a model that the local church can adopt and they can use to unleash men in their church. That's what Iron Men's Ministries is all about. We put it into a system and a format that right now is it's exploding. Over 25 churches involved and many more coming on board. And so again, we just want to say thank you. We want to say thank you for checking us out and let us know how we can help you today. Now, there's a lot of reasons why Iron Men's Ministries is unique, and you'll find out about those over time. We'll give you as much information as you need, but they're interesting things like redesigning a battlefield for men so that they know where they're going and why they're excited to get there. Spiritual markers with cool names so men can progress and they know what that next target is. We have the training and support necessary, and we have these elements and they come together to provide something very specific that takes place in your church, but we would not be unique if we couldn't give you the support you need. So Iron Men's Ministries is also built on tech support, database support, trainers that we send out across the country. We're very established in Northern, Central, and Southern California. We're now branching out into other states, and so we want you to know that we have that support for you. Lifeway Ministry says that when a man gets very excited about Jesus Christ, when he takes Jesus serious and pursues him, that up to 93% of the family will follow. So Iron Men's Ministries is heaven bent on seeing revolution and revival as we gather up God's armies throughout America and then even go beyond that. Now, before you go explore the other options on the DVD, I want to give you some very important information. You've come this far, so here's the next step. There's a website at the bottom of your screen right now. Make sure you check out ironmensministries.com. It's an awesome website. It has a lot of videos and information and just stuff that will help you know if this is the path you're supposed to go. Also on the website, you can go to questions@ironmensministries.com, or you can just put that into your own email, questions@ironmensministries.com, and you can get in direct contact with us. Our local headquarters number is 559-732-2144. We would love a phone call from you. We believe that discipleship means that we have to connect with you. To do it the way that Jesus intended means we have to be in relationship together. Let us know how we can help. Have a blessed week, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
At least 2 hours a week, I will not be a consumer, I will be a leader. I got saved because I walked on campus and someone walked up to me. We're asking our church membership to now act like they own the campus. Raise your hands up in the air, both of them. Raise them up higher. You're raising your hands for a guy who did not die for you, but somehow for Jesus on Sunday morning we hesitate. Are you okay with being horrible and wicked in your heart and still saying there is no condemnation for those who are in Christ, and I am perfect in the name of Lord Jesus Christ this morning, and even though I am doing a bad job today with my family, I will raise my hands to be a leader for the people around me. You afraid to do it? Yeah, I am a little bit. I still walk up and I just kind of walk up and I just kind of, why? Because I suck and I'm sinful and I was mean to my wife this morning. I didn't do a good job yesterday with my kids, whatever. But I'm not a consumer. I'm going to lead some people this morning.
Hold on a minute.
get excited about something. I'm nervous right now. You got to let it go. And you got to decide Jesus Christ is worth it. And that you can have some emotion. And that it's okay. And that you don't have to sit there like a stone, like a person who doesn't care. Jesus wept to the point where blood was coming out of his pores. What would we be willing to give? What would you be willing to give? Someone died on the cross for you that was perfect. I'm scared. That'll radically change your church. It'll make you go to places as a man you never went before.
Come to an end, soon the season will end. I'll surrender tonight. You meet me right where I am.
My name is Ray Halabonich, and I'm a member at CRB Church. And life hasn't always been this good. Life was pretty unhappy probably as an early child. You know, my dad used to hit me and my brother a lot. You know, there was just no love in my house at all, none. So, you know, I went to the streets for my love. You know, I developed friendships, you know, and that's where I seeked the love that I needed. You know, I had a hole in my soul and I was trying to fill it. And, you know, and doing that took me down a road that led me into drugs and alcohol, and which kind of dominated my whole life. So eventually I went back to the streets again, you know, started running around with gangs. By the time I was 29, I was pretty heavy into meth. Caught my first prison term, was in and out of prison, you know, three times. I didn't know what to do, you know, I was going right back down the same road I always went. And then I met my wife. Probably the best day of my life, you know. You know, we fell in love instantly, and about a year later we got married. Life was good, you know, still clean and sober, but something was still missing, you know. Nothing that my wife could provide for me, and I didn't know what it was, you know, and eventually I started using drugs again, thinking that was gonna fill me, because that's what I know. I mean, I know how to do that real well. Me and my wife had been married probably 6 years, and boom, you know, the cops were looking for me again, you know, because, you know, I had these warped morals, you know. I figured I went to work every day, I put my check in the bank, and so I figured I was good, I was doing my duty. But, you know, I still did drugs, I still had to supply my drug habit, so I did other means to get the money to do that, and which, you know, none of them were lawful. So eventually the law caught up with me, and, you know, I fought my case, and I finally took a deal, and I went back to prison while I was married to my wife. And only the Lord knows why she didn't leave me, you know, because I know I would have left myself. You know, God does stuff for us that we can't do for ourselves, and I couldn't stop using drugs, so he goes, "Here, I'll get you off drugs," bam, and he threw me in prison. That's where me and God connected right there. You know, my instructor, I'll never forget him, you know, his name was Chris. He says it's always got to be God, recovery, and then everything else. You know, anything that you put in front of God, it'll be the first thing that God takes away from you, you know. And since I've been to his house, my life has totally changed, man. I mean, I lived in isolation. You know, I could be in a crowded room, but I was isolated. You know, I was always alone. I didn't fit. you know, and it was my head telling me that I didn't fit, you know, that, you know, you don't, look what you've done in your past, you know, you can't associate with those people. And like I said earlier, you know, I've been a member here for actually going on 6 years, you know, and using the whole time, using drugs the whole time. Because I served coffee on Saturdays, every other Saturday with my wife, and I would come in, I would do my work, and then I would be out of there. No meeting people, nothing like that until Ironman came along. When Ironman came along, I knew something was telling me to go in that direction. You know, I didn't know how to have relationships yet, you know, with people that were not on drugs, you know. And while I was up at his house, my wife was orchestrating stuff here for me. I don't know if it was God working with her, but 300 Ironmen or I don't know how many there were, you know, they were all praying for me. Guys I didn't even know, you know, and that's what Ironman meant to me. Living a life of being alone, you know. I finally got brothers, you know, that'll always be there, you know, no matter what. I never thought I would hang with people like that. Genuine, you know. The only people I'm used to hanging out with are people that are trying to get something from you and just trying to bring you down, you know. You know, and I'm not, you know, I wasn't never a bad guy. I was just lost, man. I was just looking for people to love me for who I was. And that's what I found when I found Ironman. It's like I was carrying the world around with me everywhere I went. And it's just so freeing, you know. God, you know, seek me and you will find peace. Even if all the Ironmen are gone and everybody in the world's gone, I still won't be alone no more. You know what I mean? My name is Ray Halabonich, and I am Ironman.
Texas, actually Mansfield, Texas, just outside of Dallas. I'm the Ironman's director at the community at Lake Ridge Church there, kind of a hub for Texas. We came up here to California to kind of be a part and witness and engross ourselves into Ironman
Big Man's Breakfast. What we saw was absolutely amazing. I've been to Goatee Retreat last year. It's the first time to be at the Big Man's Breakfast. What I saw was over 4,000 men coming into one place and sharing the love of Jesus Christ. It's amazing to get to be a part of where this many men get together and talk about what it means to be a Christian, what it means to be a man, what it means to be a friend, what it means to help one another, what it means to hold up one another, to hold men accountable. And I'm telling you, this is exciting. It's exciting to be a part of a ministry, something called Iron Men's Ministry, where men actually care about somebody other than themselves. And they care about other men. They care about what other men are going through, what they're experiencing, how they're getting through life, how they're going to the next level in their life. If you've never been a part of Iron Men's Ministry, you've never been a part of having a friend that would take a bullet for you, you should check this out. Go to www.ironmensministry.com and see what is going on.
Guys, my name's John Lloyd, and we just finished about our 7th annual Big Man's Breakfast. And I don't know if you can see around this room as I move, but there was thousands of men. There was waves of men that raised their hand when we gave the opportunity to accept Christ. Brian Holloway knocked it out of the park. And guys have been asking over and over again, how did it go? How did it go? And all I can say is nothing went wrong. It couldn't have gone better. And I can't imagine the thousands of lives that have been changed. And literally within minutes, the place is emptied out. That's how many people made it happen.
Listen, we had an amazing day today where men came together as Iron Men, iron sharpening iron. We got a chance on this Saturday to be able to say, how can we go to the next level? How do we raise our vision? How do we stand up and be who we need to be as a father, as a husband, and a leader in our community? Today was all about a rededication, a recommitment, reinvigoration. And what I did, I just shared some of the stories of great champions and what it takes to get up after you've been knocked down, and what it takes to be inspired even in the difficult times, and to be in a place where you realize, you know what, this is about something bigger than just me. And I think that's one of the keys to motivating and being moved and inspired, knowing that every day you can sit there and say, I've raised my game. It's not about me, it's all about them, and it's all about him.
clapping for you are your brothers in Christ. These guys love you. They don't care where you've been. They don't care what you've done. There's only one thing these men right now care about. They care about that your eternal security has just been nailed down. Come on in, guys. If you double fit, come on in. You know why they're clapping? Because the only thing they care about is if we're going to heaven.
From the chairs. It's not just those who are on stage or those who are teaching on stage, but they're spiritual leaders leading worship from in their chairs, taking ownership of the spiritual roles and the authority in the church because their hearts are so bought in. So it's changing our church in ways already that's clearly seeable, things that you as a pastor, are passionate about.
The third wish on Wednesday, I gave a salvation opportunity while standing up on the tank because Alex just got done baptizing a bunch of guys. And I'd forgotten to do it in here. And just really quickly bow your heads. 115 guys were there and gave the gospel in a matter of a minute or two and said, you can pray this prayer. Heads were up. Did anybody just get saved? Because every week we had people getting saved and baptized. Raise your hand if you just got saved, raise your hand. And there were no hands up if you got saved. And there was a little bit of a commotion. And I'm up on a baptismal and I'm looking for where the commotion is. And I look down and little Louis, who's 5, who was at the retreat, was standing with all these gigantic, ugly men around him. And he just, you know, and two of my kids got saved when they were 5, and you know, you never know what God is doing, but he says, bring the kids to me, and the kingdom's based on their faith. You got to open up your heart to what Bible says, not what I thought the Bible meant. And Louis, did you just ask Jesus in your heart? Yes. And, you know, in short, I've never seen a 5-year-old cry for 15 minutes in his dad's arms. Like, you know, when my kids got saved, they were excited and jumping on the bed, but I've never seen a 5-year-old cry for 15 minutes in his dad's arms, and this many men cry. Louis, are you okay? Yes. And he's bawling, you know, and it was just powerful. We want to be radical, guys. We're not here for average.